Hello and welcome to Crafted Bricks. Simon here, back for another video. In this particular video, I'm going to build and showcase for you a bust extension that you can also build for your LEGO Star Wars Darth Vader helmet set. The design for this mock comes from Glenn Tanner. I've actually featured one of Glenn Tanner's mocks or builds on my channel before, which was the face upgrade for the Batman cowl headset. I'm back for another one of his upgrades. Glenn has actually designed a whole series of bust mods and different modifications for the full lineup of Star Wars helmet sets. This particular one is the Dark Lord bust extension for this Vader helmet. And if you like what you see in this video, I've put a link in the description for where you can purchase and download instructions for this build. To be or not to be Lord Vader, that is the question. Or is it to build or not to build? I don't know, you choose. The answer is most definitely to build, and rather than doing a speed build section for this video, I'm going to show you and talk you through key stages of the build and share my thoughts with you as I go. There are 1084 parts required for this model, and as the majority of the parts are in black color, there is a very important recommendation I have if you're intending to build this bust extension, and that is to over order on the required quantities for any of the large black parts like the slope, brick and tile elements. The reason for this is that black Lego, even when bought in new condition, is notorious for having and showing up scratches, dings, and scuff marks. And having highly visible defects on your parts can really ruin the look of your finished model. So I would recommend that you overorder by about 10 to 20% on the required quantities for most of the larger parts in this inventory. This is going to give you the ability to choose the best parts to use as you build and to omit any scratched, marked, or dinged parts. The build starts by removing the base from the head of the standard model. And make sure you do not attempt to forcefully rip the head off the base like I did. It results in a partial Lego explosion. I'd forgotten that the head was keyed into the base via some Technic elements, so you are better off to remove the plates on the underside of the base first, then the sloped elements, remove the Technic axle, and then do the required disassembly from there. Steps 1 to 21 involve modifying and extending the base to suit the bust. Steps 22 through 97 involve building the core of the bust. While I was doing this, I noticed that I was getting a lot of fingerprints on the model. Again, this is a problem with black colored Lego. It shows up any sort of marks, fingerprints included. So I tried out Sariel's trick of wearing latex gloves while building. And I'm a convert. No more fingerprints. What a difference using gloves has made. And it is something I'll consider for future builds. Yes, it may seem a bit weird to the casual view of this video, but I would suggest giving it a go for your next build that involves black or dark colored Lego parts. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. Steps 98 to 173 and then through onto step 263 all involve building the main core or body of the bust, the rear detailing of the cape, and the way that Glenn has used sloped elements to give it a sense of texture, particularly up behind the shoulders, I think is very nicely done. Steps 264 through to 344 involve more work on the body of the model and building and fitting off the shoulders. Steps 345 through to 460 I actually enjoyed the most, as we see the life support system control panel come together and the superb detailing on the top of the bust. Then through to step 545 we get to build and fit the beautifully designed front section of Vader's armor. It was at this stage that I made a few minor changes to Glenn's design around the neck to fill in some gaps using several bricks, tiles, and plates that I had left over. And finally, all that remained was to fit the chain for Vader's cape and to socket on the head to finish off the build. Well, as you can see, the build of this Darth Vader bust is now fully complete, and I'm extremely impressed with the size and the presence and the scale of this piece. I really wanted to show you what the model looks like with me on camera before I dive into a close-up view, so you can get an appreciation for just how large this set, or this modified set, really is. I think Glenn has done a superb job with this. I particularly like all the details for the cape section and the body armor section at the front. And I really like this little detail down here and a little bit of color to add a bit of pop to this piece for that control panel that we see around the midsection of Vader. What I'm going to do now is change to a close-up view where I have this model rotating on my turntable so you can check out all the details up close of this beautiful custom Lego model.
There is no escape. Don't make me destroy you. Luke, you do not yet realize your importance. You have only begun to discover your power. Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
Well, I really think Glenn has knocked it out of the park with the design of this bust extension for the Darth Vader helmet set. And now I'm kind of faced with a bit of a difficult dilemma. Do I build Glenn's bust extensions for the other Star Wars helmet sets that LEGO has released? Or do I build those sets and display them in their smaller standard configuration? I think that's going to be a bit weird, the smaller sets versus this larger sort of bust extension version of Vader are going to look a little bit small and almost like shrunken head trophies or something like that in comparison to this larger version. I'll certainly do a bit of thinking. I may be buying a lot of Lego in the future if I do decide to go down that path. And of course, if I do those builds, I will share them with you on the channel. That's all for me for this video. I really hope you've enjoyed watching it. Until I see you in the next video, happy building and take care.
There is no escape. Don't make me destroy you.